In this episode, Golden and I discuss the DC Universe animated series Harley Quinn Season 1. Full speed ahead. Welcome to the Omega Beam number 68. I'm your host, Oren Merton. So if you're not familiar, DC Universe is the streaming service of all things DC, from movies to TV shows to comics, etc. And it's not the most popular streaming service. And to be honest, now that DC Entertainment's parent company, Warner Brothers, is going to be launching HBO Max in May, and that will include all of Warner Brothers stuff, it's not clear what's going to happen to DC Universe, how it's going to change, etc. Nevertheless, just because it's not super successful doesn't mean it doesn't have some great shows like Doom Patrol and Titans, Swamp Thing. So when we saw they were doing an original animated series of Harley Quinn, a character we both like, we decided to give it a shot. As ever, there's light spoilers with our TV episode, so you can expect that in this one. And let's go. I am here with Golden to talk about Harley Quinn, not the Birds of Prey movie, but the DC Universe animated show, which just ended its first season. We don't know if there's going to be a second, so maybe it's the whole series, but at least season 1.
So since it's on DC Animated,
Yeah.
does that mean they don't actually have an actual rating, or is it actually rated R?
They don't have a rating.
They don't have a rating.
Yeah.
But basically, it's rated R.
It's pretty much rated R. I mean,
Violence,
yeah.
language,
Yeah.
content.
Exactly. It's not a children's cartoon, for those of you who are wondering. I mean, the Birds of Prey movie was rated R, so it makes sense that if they're going to do a cartoon, it would be rated R as well. But yeah, this is definitely...
I think this is actually a
it's
little bit worse than the movie in terms of its...
Sure. Well,
it's edging into R.
Yeah, I think that they're going for that kind of Archer, Rick and Morty, adult cartoon, not appealing. This is not your Saturday morning cartoon for kids. This is definitely adult. I mean, the soundtrack is a lot of punk music, and it's just they're very much going for that vibe. And, the language is filthy, and the jokes are, even forgetting about filthy, they're just very adult and contemporary. They're not things that a kid would get. Pixar does that thing where they'll make the sight gags and the dialogue work for kids, but also the adults who are there will get an extra laugh because they'll understand, like, the more innuendo meaning or whatever. They don't do that here. It's right out in the open. It's just,
It's hit the nail on the head.
Exactly. So, how did you like the series?
I don't think I saw every single episode.
Okay.
I saw most of them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Kaylee Cuoco wasn't quite she was finding her footing.
Yeah.
I think she was definitely finding her footing. By the second or third episode, I was really beginning to see her or hear her.
Right.
As Harley Quinn and enjoy it more. Mm-hmm. I thought that I loved the Poison Ivy character and how she's just like, okay, this again. You're going to go after her. You're going to end up going right back to him. And it was an interesting take on the Poison Ivy character. Very strong female character.
Uh-huh.
I thought the whole, she doesn't want to like Kite Man.
Right.
She doesn't. How can I like Kite Man? This is ridiculous. I am a strong, intelligent woman, and this guy really kind of is an idiot.
And he's like a D-lister. He's like...
somehow I still am just attracted to him. What the hell? What is wrong with me? So I enjoyed that. And I enjoyed the fact that he doesn't want to give up.
Right.
And he's not going to give up.
Because he cares. I mean, that's he as a villain, he's a complete and total failure, but he truly cares about her, and that does come through.
And then you have the landlord, Cy Borgman, and
Cyborg. Ha
Yeah.
ha ha ha.
Did you just
I
not get
get it.
that?
No, I'm just
Okay. So, I mean, he's going around in a mechanical wheelchair and
right.
in mechanical arm, and yeah.
Played, I think, excellently by Jason Alexander, who truly, I think, digs deep and releases his inner old Yiddish man.
He embraces the character.
Yeah.
So I thought that, he doesn't really even want them there and ends up basically joining them.
The series is clearly played for laughs. So it's very, very broad and very profane and just having fun. But they do manage to actually give characters arcs in a way that a lot of cartoons and animated shows don't. So I thought that was actually pretty cool.
The cast was really entertaining, and can't go wrong with Alan Tudyk.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's great at everything.
Doom Patrol. Watch Doom Patrol.
Yeah, Doom Patrol was amazing. Back to Kaylee Cuoco, I think, I'm guessing that you had this same feeling, but to me, both the woman who did the initial voice acting for Harley Quinn in Batman the Animated Series and gave it that heavy New York accent.
And I love her.
Yeah. And then Margot Robbie, who I think has
she's excellent.
Played her to perfection in live action. Those Harley Quinns are so ingrained in my head that, like you, hearing Kaylee Cuoco play her normal accent.
But you gotta miss the, Mr. J.
Yeah, totally miss. And you do it very well, by the way, too. But yeah, I totally missed it. And that's like you were saying, at first it was like, this isn't Harley Quinn. This is Penny. Why?
No, I wasn't there. I wasn't, this is Penny. I don't think I ever at any point thought, that's just Penny. Because I feel like it was far enough away.
Okay. I agree with you.
This is a whole different attitude.
Yeah, the attitude was completely different. The attitude was always Harley Quinn. And I agree with you that as it went on, she really got into it. She really hit her rhythm and hit her stride. And ultimately, she's carrying the show. And it's obviously a big deal to her because she's also one of the producers listed. And I mean, the show itself, I found out today when I was doing some research before the podcast, it was nominated for a 2020 Annie, ANNIE, animation awards that I'm not familiar with, for like best broadcast, like general broadcast animated series or whatever. It's one of the nominees.
And I mean, I thought the show was very well written.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like women do tend to fall into the whole abusive relationship that she ends up in with the Joker, and she keeps trying to, it's going to be different this time.
Right.
And you have this one episode where she just keeps flashing at all of these different times that the Joker has basically just thrown her out the door.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I loved also how the Justice League and other side characters are portrayed as just a lot more bumbling and caricatures rather than the main, the heroes that you see in their solo movies or anything. It's like
Aquaman needs to go save the fish.
That's right. It was very much having fun with the DC universe. And I think that's great. I think if let's put it this way. One of people's big criticisms of the Zack Snyder era of live action DC movies is that he took everything way too seriously. There was everything was grand, epic, dark, gloomy, heavy, and there was no room for humor. And they've brought in humor into the live action movies now. And I loved seeing this animated series kind of carrying that tradition of going with the humor. So, yeah, I know not a lot of people get DC Universe. I saw that it's already, I think, for sale on the digital retailers. So you can check the series out that way. So it's not only on DC Universe anymore. I know that in a few months, HBO will be premiering HBO Max, which is going to be their HBO plus all of Warner Brothers. And I believe all of the DC Universe series are going to be available there as well. So there's a lot of ways to catch it if you didn't really pay attention because it's on DC Universe and you're not a subscriber. But if you like this kind of animated show, this is worth it. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I started watching it just because I like the character Harley Quinn, and I like the actress Kaylee Cuoco, and I heard Alan Tudyk and others were in it, and I was like, oh, this is going to be kind of fun. And it ended up being better than I thought it was going to be.
No, I think the cast was very diverse.
Yeah.
I thought it was really just a really interesting and very, very talented people. It wasn't just people that you hear all the time.
Sure. And speaking of influences, one of their influences, which I completely did not expect, was Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh yeah, no, I loved Frank.
Yeah, they had Frank, the Venus flytrap, talking Venus flytrap plant animal through the entire
that's
thing.
another one that is just anytime I think of the plant,
yeah,
it's Audrey,
feed me, right?
It's that deep voice, but the Frank the plant just had that feel of Audrey.
Yeah,
Little
definitely.
Shop of Horrors, but it was just, and he's devoted.
He
to
is
Poison Ivy. He really is.
He is,
and he wants to help.
Yeah,
he wants to be there, part of the action. I love the whole. You have Wayne Knight, Will Sasso. Howie Mandel is Howie Mandel.
it's right. It was not a stretch for him.
A little bit, maybe. He's too much, he's too busy being a character more of the time. No, he's just really just Frankie Muniz. Frankie Muniz is Frankie Muniz.
Right, playing himself.
Yeah. It's just was a wonderful cast.
Yeah, and the episodes are short. So they're 30-minute episodes, although that's kind of normal for animated series. But it goes fast. It's worth watching, and it goes in directions you're not necessarily thinking of. Some because it's zany and you're just where they go is just odd. But other times they make choices that I don't want to give anything away because I don't want to give major spoilers. Away. But there's episodes where when they
I'm
end...
not apologizing either.
There's some episodes where when it ends, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe they went there. But, like you were talking about the writing being good, it's kind of fearless too. And that's nice to see. Maybe it's because they felt the stakes weren't that high because it was on DC Universe. I don't know. But they really did take chances, which is not something you see in a ton of broadcast shows.
I'm going to give one little spoiler. Kite Man is actually super intelligent, and he just decides to kill everyone. No, actually, that didn't happen. I like Wanda Sykes also.
Yeah, she was great as the Queen of Fables.
Mm-hmm. No, it was a lot of entertaining. It's a lot of fun. Definitely not if you do have older kids that are interested in watching it, I would watch it beforehand. Watch it first before having them watch it.
Yeah. I mean, if you basically consider this as... I know that in the UK they have a rating of like 15 plus, which we don't have here in the USA. This is definitely 15 plus.
Yeah, I'm nodding my head.
Just
in case you can't see it through the audio.
Yeah, I'm not sure because it is animated and everything. Maybe if this were live action, it would definitely be R. But because it's animated, I'd say 15 plus.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Golden.
You're welcome.
That's it for this episode. You can find the show notes at theomegabeam.com/68. If you liked this episode, please leave a review in the Apple Podcasts app or wherever you listen to podcasts, because those reviews are what help people who like this kind of stuff find our podcast. If you have any comments or suggestions, please drop us a line at info@theomegabeam.com. Be good to yourselves and each other, and we'll catch you next time.